Hello everyone, welcome to Free Range Diva. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Today's video is going to be about my acid reflux and the things that I have used to control it and some food swaps that I had to make in order to help get it under control. Around June of last year, I developed acid reflux. It was chronic, it was daily, it was quite intense. And with the help of doctors and online nutritionists, I figured out some of the things that were a trigger for me. So to help get it under control, I eliminated several foods from my diet. Garlic, onions, citrus fruits, bell peppers, and vinegar. I think those were the most. And for a while, combined with daily walking, which was like a meditation and therapy for me, because I have always been the kind of person that works out her emotional issues in her gut, usually in the form of not acid indigestion, but pretty much everything else, cramping, gas, bloating, those sorts of things. So this was something new for me, but I found that using methods to address stress and anxiety and things like that proved to really help control my acid reflux, and it was under control and pretty much stayed under control for several weeks. Then in December, following I had a procedure, I had an endoscopy, and I developed this chronic hip pain, which was really debilitating. I could not do any more walking, for one thing, and I was in pain for a lot of the time. And what made it even worse is that the pain medication that I had to take made the acid reflux worse. And as a result, the acid reflux came back, and it was stronger and harder to control. Medications had limited effect. And so I was kind of stuck because the things that I was doing to stay calm and de-stress, I couldn't do. And the stress was magnified because pain and because I was frustrated because I could not walk. I couldn't go anywhere. So anyway, I've got a new doctor, and she put me on a really restrictive diet, even more so than the gastroenterologist had put me on. And as a result, I pretty much had to start from scratch in terms of how I was going to feed myself, because she wanted me to eliminate dairy, coffee, even though my GI had said decaf coffee was fine, but she wanted it gone. And she wanted chocolate gone, and tomatoes. Although I had eliminated most tomatoes anyway, she wanted to make sure that there was no kind of tomato products. And as a result, I realized that some of the things that I was eating that I thought was okay, like mayonnaise and mustard, were not, because they either had vinegar or lemon juice. Even the mustard that I make, my own homemade fermented mustard, had to go. And it was killing me. Okay, so me being someone who, when there's an issue, I tackle it, I jump in with both feet. I started taking things out and putting different things in. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. Some of the swaps that I made, particularly if you're having issues, if you're dairy-free, or if you have to change things in your diet, you're limited, your diet is limited. These may be some things that you didn't think of, but that really were delicious and added to the variety. Because really, at one point, it was like plain meat with salt, maybe, bread, and a few vegetables, which gets old pretty quick, particularly at breakfast time. All right, enough of that. Let me show you some low-acid, healing, nutritious, delicious foods. We'll start with something that I mentioned before. For spices, my spices were pretty much, I couldn't have garlic or onion. Anywho, I picked up this za'atar seasoning, which is so yummy. I've been putting this on everything, but I love this on roasted vegetables. Any kind of roasted vegetables, just put on oil, salt, pepper, and a big, like spoonful of this, mix it all up and roast it. And this is just really, Really delicious. The ingredients in here are za'atar leaves, sumac, which I also have, sesame seeds, extra virgin olive oil, and salt. So it's simple. It has spices in it that you may not be used to, and so if there's spices that you know that you cannot eat, or herbs, this is something that you might be able to tolerate, because who eats za'atar leaves on a regular basis? Certainly not me. So yeah, za'atar seasoning. So this is the New York Shook brand, but za'atar, there all kinds of brands have. This is just a standard Middle Eastern household seasoning blend. Okay, so another thing that because I couldn't have dairy, butter was out. You know, olive oil, avocado oil gets boring, redundant. You want something else. And so I've been eating clarified butter. This is, or ghee, also known as ghee. So this has the milk solids removed. It is the oil, so you can use this at high heat without having to worry about it breaking down or turning toxic. So this is most commonly used in Asian recipes. It's rich, it's cleanly flavored butter, but you can use it in place of butter for any cooking style. And because the milk solids have been removed, this doesn't require refrigeration. Just keep this in your pantry, which is what I do. So yeah, highly recommend ghee if you've never tried it. It reminds me of a child eating buttered popcorn in the movie theater. That kind of butter flavor, that's what this has. It's a very clean, rich, intense butter flavor, and I really like it. We're going to go next into plant-based milk substitutes. I've got nut pods. This is an oat creamer in the French vanilla flavor. This is for adding to tea. Oh, I forgot my tea. I better go, I'll go down and get it. What I'm drinking instead of coffee. But anyway, this is really good in coffee or tea. I like to warm this up a little bit because it takes more of this than, say, half and half to really give you a creamy flavor. However, this is unsweetened, and yet because oats have a natural sweetness to them, this gives a slightly sweet flavor to whatever you add it to. Now, the other milk that I have been using, I use this mostly in my smoothies, also in my breakfast cereal, my hot cereal that I make in the morning for an element of creaminess. Califia Farms organic almond milk. Note, this only has almonds, water, and sea salt. And this is going to be a theme because the rule that I have is I don't want a lot of junk, a lot of extra stuff in my food. I just want, if I was going to make almond milk at home, this is what I'd put in it. Again, unsweetened. It doesn't even have dates in here or monk fruit or anything like that. No gums, no oils, no emulsifiers. So when you use this, you first want to shake it up to make sure that it's well mixed. And then, you refrigerate this after you open it. And Califia Farms is one of my favorite food brands. I eat a lot of stuff from them. And so, and the reason why is because they keep the ingredients short and sweet and only food. Meaning short and not sweet, but short and short. Now, get your box of almond milk or whatever and look on the back on the ingredients list and you tell me what's in it. 3 ingredients or something like this, which is why I am not going to be eating. This is my last one of these oat things. Even though they're really good, I have been gradually adding a little bit of dairy back in, a little bit at a time, and I've been fine. So yeah, once this is done, this will be done. But the ingredients on here: oat milk water, sunflower oil, natural flavors, calcium phosphate, some other kind of phosphates, lecithin, guar gum, sea salt. You get the idea. And the major downside to oat milk and the oat milk creamer is that oats without fiber equals sugar. So for someone like me who has been intermittent fasting for the last 2.5 years, 3 years, and my goal was to lose belly fat, I don't want to start spiking my blood sugar and putting that fat back on. because, you know, I worked hard to get those inches off the belly, and I don't want them back, okay? And quickly, here's what I've been having instead of coffee. This is Sip Herbal's loose leaf, caffeine-free, non-acidic tea. I get the French vanilla flavor, which is my favorite. They have a lot of different flavors, but I really love this one. This is an herbal coffee alternative, as it says here. Can you see that? There. Herbal coffee alternative. And it uses things like chicory root, dandelion root, carob. That's their coffee-like base. And it tastes good. It doesn't taste exactly like coffee, but it is really, really good. And it is low acid. It hasn't caused any reflux, but of course decaf coffee doesn't cause me any reflux either. But still, this is good to have something. A morning sip without stress, and that's because there's no caffeine in this either. So the company again is Sip Herbals. I have a coupon code below, and this is their Faux Joe. And like I said, they have a lot of different flavors. So stop by their website and check them out. And then this I also wanted to show you. This is Forager Project Organic Dairy-Free Greek Style Unsweetened Plain Yogurt. So this has taken the place of Greek yogurt in my diet, and this is made with cultured coconut and cashew milks or creams. Here on the back, coconut milk is the first ingredient, cashews, rice protein, agar, which is a thickener, it's a natural thickener, and live active cultures. So this gives me my probiotics. It also gives you 10 grams of protein. And the big problem for me with plant-based yogurts is there's no protein in them, like a gram, maybe 2 tops. This one for 5.3 ounces, so almost 6 ounces or 3/4 of a cup, you get 10 grams of protein. That is pretty darn good. And this is very creamy. It's delicious. This is great. You can just have it plain over say fresh berries or something like that, and it tastes great. It's really, really creamy too. I was really surprised. The problem with this is that it's expensive, especially even compared to like your average Greek yogurt, which the Greek yogurt that I use also gives you, for a serving size of 6 ounces, 15 grams of protein. So you get a lot more bang for your buck, and it's cheaper than this. However, you know, if you can find it on sale or if it fits your budget and you're looking for something plant-based, I highly recommend this because this did not upset my stomach at all. And when combined with whey protein powder, which yes, I have been able to eat whey protein, I don't have acid, I don't get hungry in like 2 hours, and it's just been a really great addition to my breakfast because yes, I could eat eggs and lettuce for breakfast. I could eat sausage and eggs and berries or something for breakfast, but I don't want to have meat or eggs every single day. So this is great. This is great for my smoothies. So a word about protein powder. Yes, I am able to use the whey protein, but I still wanted to keep that down. And initially I went looking for a plant-based protein powder that I could buy locally, and I happened to see the Truvani on sale. Otherwise I would have just waited and ordered from Perfect because I know that I can digest that easily. But Perfect's powder does not have any sweetener in it. This does have monk fruit, and this is also vanilla flavored. 2 things that I was looking for in a protein powder, because I also add this to my cereals, to my hot cereals in the morning to give them extra protein. So whether it's a my hemp seed based cereal or my ancient grain cereal that's oats and quinoa and a whole bunch of other stuff, I need more protein, right? So I always add a scoop of protein powder into my breakfast cereals, and this one has 5 ingredients. 5. That's why I was attracted to it. The Perfect, by the way, has 3. This one has pea protein, vanilla powder, organic pumpkin seed, organic monk fruit, and organic chia seed protein. So again, just 5 simple ingredients. Truvani's protein powders have been tested to be low in heavy metals. In fact, here in California, we have something called Prop 65, which limits the amounts of heavy metals you can have in your food. And this comes in below Prop 65 standards. So it's very low. It's also flavorful because it's sweet, it's vanilla-like, and in smoothies, this is very creamy. It's not grainy. However, when I put this in my cereals, it is really grainy. You can definitely taste it, and it's not pleasant. So that's why I went back to using whey protein powder, at least in my cereals, and I found that when I would do that, my digestion was very, very calm. I could go a whole day and not have reflux when I start my day that way with, say, a hot cereal with whey protein in it. So anyway, I still use this. I'm still going to use this up in my smoothies. And I realized that initially when I first started this with the forager, with the Greek yogurt, I was having digestive issues getting used to it. I'm sure other people have had this as well. When you're switching to a really high fiber diet, you can sometimes have a period of adjustment where you're cramping, bloating, etc., etc. So once that stopped and calmed down, the reflux came back right after breakfast. And I had gotten used to being able to eat breakfast and not having reflux at all. So something had to be done. When I used this protein powder, I went back to just having it with plain Greek yogurt, and it's been fine. But, this makes a great smoothie, these two together. So if you can handle it, then I highly recommend it. Okay, so now we're getting into the fun stuff. If you have ever purchased dried fruit from, say, the bulk bins or even in packages, they never have just dried fruit. They always add stuff to it, either stuff to keep it from sticking together or to keep the color in it, particularly if you're getting something like nectarines, which is what's in here, or peaches dried. And so I was so happy to see this on the shelf. This is called Hello, I'm Ugly dried fruit. And the nectarine has nothing in here but dried nectarines. Now here's what makes this so, and they're really good. Let me show you. So here's what's fun about Hello, I'm Ugly. This company comes from the Central Valley here in California. And growers, when they've harvested their fruit, anything that's not perfect looking, that's a little, bumpy or got blemishes on it or whatever, they don't sell it. They actually have someone cart it away and it gets tossed into the fields. And that's what the owner of this company did. He got so tired of throwing away, because the fruit still tastes good, it's still sweet, but just throwing them out, to decompose, he just felt like was a waste of food. So he got the idea to dry it. And now he says, we work closely with other Central Valley farmers to give new life to funny looking fruits and remind folks everywhere to never judge a fruit by its cover. So they have they have chopped, they have sliced, they have nectarines, mangoes, plums, peaches, apricots, kiwis, and cherries. So I found this at Whole Foods. It was $3 and something. So it's not overly expensive. And I wish you could smell it, because you can smell the sweetness. Even when it's in this bag, you can still smell how sweet these are. And I use this in my morning porridge, in my oat porridge. I use the ancient grains, oats, and quinoa, and amaranth, and flax. It's a combination of all these things. And then to that, I add like a big spoon of hemp seeds and a handful of this. And you don't need to add anything else to sweeten it. because this is so sweet. You just get a little bit of that sweetness in every single bite. And it obviously it reconstitutes when you're cooking it. And it just tastes really, really good. I am going to be looking online for some recipes to other ways to use this. For example, there has to be a way to reconstitute this. Put it in, soak it in hot water and make it soft, and then do something with it. Turn it into a fruit compote of some kind, because I rarely get a chance to eat nectarines because I can only buy them for the farmer's market when they're in season, and they're really expensive. So I don't go crazy. I just get a few and then that's it. But this is great because they have plums and peaches as well, two of my other favorites that I don't get very often because, again, seasonal and expensive. Ooh, we're down to the end. I forget where I saw this, somebody eating this online. I don't remember who, like months ago, and I just made a note to check this company out. This is called Streusli granolas. Only these are keto style granolas. They have no grains. They have no sweeteners. Let's do this way. I got two varieties. This particular one is the original granola. It only has tiger nuts, pecans, walnuts, coconut flakes, hemp hearts, chia seeds, and sea salt. And there's no sweeteners in here, but all of this combination of ingredients is a little bit sweet. So I first got this to put on, for dessert, I will chop up and bake pears. Love them, especially this time of year. So I will bake pears with a little ghee. I maybe add a little bit of apple juice for extra sweetness, but you really don't need it. Cinnamon, and then sprinkle this over the top after it's cooked, before you eat it, to add crunch. It's divine. It really is. You just use this like granola. You can sprinkle this over your yogurt and your berries in the morning. If you like acai bowls, this is perfect as a last crunchy step to sprinkle over the top. You can bake with this. You can turn this into a topping, like a crumbly type topping over baked desserts. It's just really, really good. Tiger nuts, by the way, are a root vegetable with a lot of prebiotic fiber. And this company, they give you lots of recipes, ways to use this, which is great because the founder of this was a trained chef. So yeah, she made it taste really good without the sweeteners and without the grains. And then the other variety that I got, this is the savory and seed variety. I'm going to show you some footage of how I use this on my lunch. This is on vegetables, any kind of soups. This is great. You sprinkle it on eggs. You'll see I made myself avocado toast. I use sourdough bread, lettuce, avocado, actually they were soft-boiled eggs, and microgreens, and then I sprinkle this all over the top. That's a recipe that they have that you can get off their website. They, of course, include chili flakes on top, which I couldn't have, but I could see how that would add an extra layer of flavor. So this one has tiger nuts, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, golden flax meal, hemp hearts, chia seeds, and sea salt. So again, anything on vegetables, like if you've cooked greens, leafy greens, for example, sprinkle this on top for a little extra crunch and nutrition. Sprinkle this on anything and everything that's not sweet, basically, and it works perfectly. And it gave it this beautiful interest and crunch, because my favorite thing in the world is avocados with my fermented mustard. Well, okay, I can't even make the mustard without some sort of vinegar. It just doesn't work. So this has helped me not miss that mustard so much. And also, this one is nut-free. So if you're on a nut-free diet, this is just seeds. Streusli, Savory and Seed, highly recommend this company. I bought this off their website. They're carried other places. I'm just not sure where, but doesn't matter. When they ship with recipe cards and recipe ideas. So that's great. Oh, before I forget, I bought this at Whole Foods, but you can also get on their if you shop on their website, they have a mixed variety pack of the different flavors. So you can, if you want, you can just try a whole bunch of flavors at one time and save a little money. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap it up today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it fun. Anytime I come across any interesting food thing, you know I'm going to bring it to you. And because I had to make so many changes all at once, it seemed like, well, hey, there's some things that I might want to keep and some things that you might like. There might be things that you're already using. So that's why I wanted to bring it up. So anyway, if you have any thoughts or questions, share them down in the comments below. If you've tried any of these, let me know. If you thought this was fun and you want to see more like this, give the video a thumbs up, and that way I'll know that whenever I go on my little shopping excursions, if I see something fun or interesting, I'll pick it up and I'll bring it and I'll talk to you about it, especially if it tastes good. If it doesn't, you may not hear about it. All right, everybody, thank you so much again for watching, for giving me thumbs ups, for subscribing, which, by the way, if you want to see more from me, then please consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing here at Free Range Diva. And in the meantime, until I see you in my next video, I'm going to wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Take good care of yourselves, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Bye!